Alright guys, we're all Russell here and today I'm going to be reviewing NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. The show aired last night, of course. It's a little bit late on into today. I do apologise for that, but I was pretty much shattered. Long day yesterday. Not a long pay-per-view, it was like 220 I think in the end Takeover, which I'm fine with. But knackered, so this review's going up a little late, I do apologise. Anyway, NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3, it was a card I was like mega excited for. I thought that every match on the card had potential to be the best match of the show in a weird way. And in the end, we had a really great show, and I guess we'll kick off with the opener of the show. Andrade Cien Almas taking on Johnny Gargano. This was like a great G1 sprint. Almas did a little bit of arm work at the beginning, which didn't play into the finish, which was fine because it wasn't like they focused on this arm work intently. But a little bit of arm work at the beginning, and then after that, they started to do some sprints. Gargano did an Americana into a Gargano escape for a great reaction from the crowd. Johnny Gargano is, in fact, the best first match wrestler, the opening match guy they've got in NXT by 1,000 miles. The crowd loved him. They had signs. It was all great. Eventually, they did a great little segment where Gargano was put in the corner and Almas went for the knees, and it was really great. Almas went for the knees, Gargano ran out the corner, gave him an enziguri, and then went to get him in the corner, but Almas basically arm dragged him into the turnbuckle. Awesome spot there. Almas did that spot where he jumps and leans into the ropes and holds on, and Gargano just gave him a super kick. That was great. Gargano gave him a suicide dive to the outside. He gave him a DDT, a slingshot DDT to the ring for a good near fall, slingshot spear as well. Almas, in the end, which was really good, the last couple of minutes were fantastic. In the end, Almas got out of the Gargano escape, hit a schoolboy powerbomb into the buckle, which looked horrid for Gargano's neck. He then hit the double knees for a fantastic 2 count, nearly the best near fall in the show. The crowd loved it that Johnny kicked out. Then Johnny hit a super kick out of nowhere. He hit a second super kick out of nowhere. He went to the corner, and Zelina Vega, who was at ringside, by the way, I forgot to mention Zelina Vega, Andrade's business manager is what they're calling her. She's not his girlfriend or out. I will just say Austin Aries has a wonderful taste in women. She's honestly like the most attractive woman I've seen in NXT in ages. So good on the company. It's Thea Trinidad. I'd probably have her wrestling at some point, but she's awesome as a business associate at the moment, and she looks the part, definitely. So, but anyway, she was at ringside. Gargano was in the corner, ready to hit Almas with something. I don't know what. It'd probably just be another super kick. And then Zelina Vega threw a blue shirt at Gargano. He held it for a second. He looked at it. He got drop kicked by Almas into the corner. Almas picked him up, hit the hammerlock DDT for the 1-2-3. So Almas shockingly got the win, which that's fine. Almas getting a win is good. He's just got a new manager. You can build him up as some sort of heel to maybe go after McIntyre or, Black or whatever. Strong maybe. I guess Almas has already faced all their baby faces and lost. So you could give him some wins back, I suppose. I don't know. It's weird, but Almas winning's fine. It was the finish and the presentation of the finish that I didn't really like. I thought that the finish idea was great. The shirt was a blue shirt. It was a DIY shirt. But the presentation didn't allow you to understand that until after the fact. So after the match where Johnny was looking at the shirt and was just not scared of it, but he looked at it and was like, damn, that's like a remnant of my past that I can't escape Ciampa. That's a good story, but the presentation of the finish wasn't very good. And for that reason, I did mark the match down a little bit, but this was still the best, I think probably the best opener in TakeOver history. I thought this opener was fantastic. It was well paced. The time they did literally everything they could do. It wasn't like they did every move in the book, though. It wasn't like a lot of the best of Super Junior matches, like Ricochet and Ospreay stuff, which is great. But it wasn't like they did every single move possible. They did some moves. They had some great near falls. They had a finish where a guy went over, not clean. It was a finish. It was a smart idea. It just wasn't presented well. And for that reason, I'm going to give the match 4.25 stars. Great opener, though. And then we had the second match on the card, which was the NXT Takeover Tag Team Championship matchup of Sanity. I'll talk about that in a minute. Sanity will take on the Authors of Pain. Authors of Pain, their new look, the look they had tonight was great. It was like green camo and it looked awesome. Although my friend did compare them to the Ninja Turtles, which I did laugh at. But basically, they teased that Dane was the partner of Wolf, but then Young got on the apron and the crowd all cheered, and I thought, oh, that's cool. And it played into the story, because the story was, and the commentators brought this up, and Corey Graves was the special guest commentator for this match. They brought up the story that they want Dane on the outside because he's like the torpedo. Like, Dane is the big man they can use on the outside with Cross. And that played into the finish, so that is good storytelling. So Young got in the ring, he took on Akam for a bit, they went in the crowd, they did a small piece of crowd brawling. Then, of course, the authors got the heat on Eric Young. Very, very good stuff there. Young got the hot tag eventually to Wolf. Wolf came in, House of Fire. Alexander Wolf looked the best I think he's ever looked. Awesome stuff from Wolf tonight. Pump kicks, big diving lariat off the top. Eventually, the authors would get the heat, though, on Alexander Wolf. Good stuff there. Wolf would get the hot tag to Young. Young in a really creative spot, which showed why Sanity is such a great faction. He was going to be superplexed off the top by one of the authors, and then the other author was going to powerbomb that author. So double impact for Young, I guess. But Nikki Cross went onto the apron and grabbed Eric Young's leg, so the author just powerbombed the other author. Great spot, smart psychology, good storytelling. In the end, there was a series of dives. Young hit an elbow drop on one of the authors for a good near fall. The authors did a powerbomb neckbreaker to get the heat back, but then EY and Wolf just went crazy. EY did a tope suicida, more like a tope crossbody though. And then Wolf did something very similar, but he did like a flipping one, which was very cool. Cross got in the ring. She had a stare down with Ellering, which I thought was very, very cool. She eventually did a crossbody to, I believe it was Akam. Akam caught her, and they teased. They put a table at ringside right at the beginning of the match, and they teased basically Akam giving her the military press slam through the table. And I thought that's cool. It's a cool way to get rid of Cross, but no, that's not what they did. Dane, storytelling, ran in and gave Akam a crossbody, killing Nikki Cross in the middle of the two through the table. Good storytelling. Good storytelling to say, right, Dane's not in the match, but he's going to be important on the outside, and then come through with it. That's good storytelling. Young and Wolf got back in the ring. They hit the other author with a back suplex, neck breaker combo off the top rope. The neck breaker's off the top rope, sorry. For the 1-2-3, Sanity won the NXT Tag Team Championships. And shocking, it was weird. The match was booked weirdly, like they were the baby faces, but in the feud, they have been literally the heels when you think about it. They got the heat on the last show. But the crowd liked it. The crowd really enjoyed the match. They chanted, "This is awesome" at the end, which wasn't awesome, but it was very, very good. I'd give the match 3 3/4 stars. Very, very good tag team wrestling. Great storytelling. And, yeah, really, really good stuff. 3 3/4 stars is a very, very good grade. And it's Authors Insanity, and I expected it to be the weakest match on the show, and they really over-delivered, so kudos to those two teams for that matchup. And then after the matchup, we had an amazing segment where it just proves that if you debut guys and they just kill everyone, then they get over. After the matchup, Sanity were in the ring celebrating. There was carnage at ringside. Both authors were down. Dane and Cross were down. And Fish and O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly come out. Now, they've obviously debuted at NXT TV. They've both faced Aleister Black in pretty decent matches. The O'Reilly one was excellent. And they came out and they just killed everyone. They killed one of the authors. They killed Wolf. They hit EY with Chasing the Dragon and Total Elimination. They looked cool. They held up the belts and they left. And I was like, you've just got them over as a threat to the titles. Well done. My only problem was, like, are they heels? Because it's Fish and O'Reilly and I'm not used to seeing them as heels. So, but great segment. Great stuff. Everything from the start of the tag match to the end of the segment was great. And you know what? The division, now you've got 3 teams there. You can do a 3-team matchup. And then you can go to Fish and O'Reilly versus Sanity. Which, it's Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. So it should be great. Then we had the third match on the show. The first special entrance of the night. Aleister Black got played to the ring by Code Orange, who opened the show with a performance of the theme song. I can't remember what it's called. But they played Aleister Black to the ring. It was very cool, I'm not going to lie. This Aleister Black guy, you can tell that they really do like him. He's got a great look. Great entrance music. Just everything about him is great. And this match with Hideo Itami, whose entrance was just normal, and I feel so sorry for Hideo Itami. He's just a guy. He's just been passed by, and he's a great worker still, but he's a shadow of his fallen self. But anyway, this matchup, I forgot to mention, Corey Graves was on commentary for the tag match, which made sense. He's a former tag champ, and in this matchup, special guest JR was on commentary, which I thought was awesome. JR called this match like he calls most New Japan matches, which was great. This match was literally like Shibata and Ishii. It was just a striking match. And that's exactly how it should have been. That's how the psychology should have been. Strike, strike, strike. They started off just by kicking each other in the chest. Like normal people do the forearm spot, these two guys did a kick spot to the chest. And it was great because it worked. They did very few wrestling moves. Very few. Itami hit a Fisherman's Buster for a near fall. He hit a Falcon Arrow off the top rope. He then hit a normal Falcon Arrow. That was it. There was a chin lock segment which lasted a couple of seconds, and that was all the wrestling moves, and that was great. This match should have been a shoot match. This should have been a striking match. That's all it needed to be. Basically, there was a lot of strikes. There was a pretty horrid part where they both slapped. They did a slapping spot where they kept slapping each other, and it looked pretty mean. In the end, Itami took out Black. He went for a running slap, which I thought would have been an amazing after he hit a hesitation dropkick. So he didn't go for. He went for the GTS at one point. Black countered, and then I think he hit the Fisherman's Buster. But he hit a hesitation dropkick. He hit two, I believe, actually. He then went for a running slap, which would have been an amazing finish. Black just hits him with Black Mask and wins. Awesome finish. I think that the better finish would have been, and I said to my friend when we were watching this matchup, I was like, if we see my finish, I'll give this 5 stars. We didn't, but the finish we got was still very, very good. The Black Mask is the best striking finish the company have ever seen. Just awesome. It's better than the WMD. Yes, certainly is. And yeah, this was a very, very good matchup. 4 stars. Great stuff from these 3 guys. Just NXT at this point, just great. And then we had, I think, the best match on the show. I think a lot of people are probably going to be a little sour on this matchup because of the outcome. But the NXT Women's Championship, Asuka, Ember Moon, I thought this was excellent professional wrestling. Ember Moon went for her early, controlled her early, but eventually she injured the shoulder, which she'd previously injured. And Asuka's psychology for this arm, it was sick. It was awful. It was awfully painful, is what I mean. Like, it was awful because it looked painful, and it was brutal. And she was like cracking her arm on her shoulder. She put her in the Asuka lock and basically put the arm behind her back like a chicken wing, which is basically what an Asuka lock is. But really good psychology. And these women had such a great match. Really, really was. At one point, Ember, she couldn't do a normal suplex. They sold this. They told the story that she couldn't do a suplex. So she instead did a tornado suplex from the middle rope. Good storytelling. Good psychology. I like that in my wrestling. Asuka hit a series of kicks, near falls. Ember eventually got the Eclipse. And it hit, and everybody lost their minds in the audience. They lost their shit. And eventually, she went for the cover after that Eclipse. Asuka kicked out at 2, and it was the best near fall on the show by 1,000 miles. It was great. Ember went for another Eclipse, but this time Asuka had the ref in the way. And Ember instead crossbody over the top of the ref to Asuka. Asuka rolled through, hooked the tights. 1, 2, kick out. Well, not kick out, sorry. The referee saw that she had the tights. The crowd went ballistic at this. This was also awesome. These last 3 near falls were breathtaking. Then Ember Moon killed Asuka with a super kick as Asuka was pleading to the ref. 1, 2, kick out. That was insane near fall as well. Then Ember Moon went for, I can't remember what she went for, but Asuka got her in an armbar, which worked for the story of the matchup. Ember Moon rolled Asuka on her back. 1, 2, kick out by Asuka, but she kicked out into the Asuka lock. Ember Moon eventually taps out. People didn't like the finish. My friend was really annoyed at the finish because he wanted Ember Moon to win. I think Ember Moon probably should have gone over here because who else are you going to have beat Asuka now? But outside of that, this match was outstanding. This was a 4.5 star match. This was the best women's match I've seen in this company for probably 2 years. Generally being serious, no match has touched this in a long, long time. Thank you, women, for giving me a spectacle, and you did it in 15 minutes. You didn't drag on. So, awesome. 4.5 stars. Best match on the show. And that led us into the main event, the NXT title. Drew McIntyre, who was played out to the ring by the NYPD Pipes and Drums Orchestra, which was very cool, with bagpipes and drums, obviously. That was very cool. McIntyre's theme is good. It's not as good as his old theme, but it's good. And it works with the bagpipes and the drums and stuff. Rude had his piano, like he did in Chicago. This matchup it meandered for a bit, I will be honest. The beginning was a little slow. Not like they didn't do any real body part working over either. Like, it was fine, but it was like after the 10-minute mark, it started to get really, really good. It's big belly to belly off the top from from McIntyre when Rude went for a glorious foot stomp, which I thought was really, really cool. Rude though did take control a lot of this matchup, although he didn't get a lot of big moves in. McIntyre got the future shock. He got a claymore in. Both were kicked out of. Rude by this point had hit mainly a backstabber, and that was kind of it. Rude eventually, McIntyre went for another claymore. Rude got the spinebuster for a good 2 count. Rude somehow got... I think Rude did an Americana, which was weird for Bobby Roode, into a glorious DDT. Got that. 1-2, kick out by McIntyre. Good near fall. And then, I believe Rude hit another glorious DDT, but he did the roll through like he did in Chicago, and I thought, decent finish if they do it. But he didn't. McIntyre pushed him away, gave him a headbutt, hit him with a second claymore. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre is the new NXT champion. Good match. It wasn't great. I'm not going to lie. Good, though. It was good. I'm going to say it was the weakest match on the show. But McIntyre and Rude still had a very good match. I'm going to give it 3.25 stars. Very good stuff, to be fair. Like, a lot of people are hating it. I've seen people give it, like, 2 stars. And I'm like, 2 stars is, like, fine. This was better than fine. This was good. Rude winning with the Claymore, like, is that his finish now? I'd give him the Future Shock. The Claymore is a good setup for a Future Shock, I think. Although he did beat Dane with the Claymore, didn't he? But whatever, 3.25 stars. That doesn't end the show, though. McIntyre is in the ring, and he turns around, and he sees Fish and O'Reilly on the apron. And the crowd go ballistic, and I 100% knew why they were going ballistic. It was obviously because Adam Cole, baby, came in, all 3 men took out McIntyre, Cole gave him a super kick, and then Cole, Fish and O'Reilly posed with the NXT title. So it's got to be, this is the Ring of Honor faction they've been teasing, or Meltzer's been talking about, surely. They could add Strong to it if Strong doesn't win the title, because Strong's got a title match. He lost to McIntyre by DQ. I mean, he won by DQ, so he gets a title match. If they run a 4-way at the next takeover with Strong, Rude, Cole, and McIntyre, because McIntyre doesn't need to hold the belt for a takeover. He can retain it on TV. He doesn't need to hold it for a takeover, really. He should be on the main roster now, as most of these guys should. But McIntyre is more seasoned than most. But Cole has to be the next NXT champ. And if Fish and O'Reilly go for the tag titles, I don't know if this stable's even babyface or heel. It's very weird. It's blurring the lines a bit, and I like that idea. I like the idea that these guys, they would just want to win the belts. And even in the end, that was even blurred, because Cole had the belt, and he held the NXT belt for a second, and then he just threw it away. At least Fish and O'Reilly posed with it, but even they kind of threw the belts away. So it creates this... It's changed the landscape in NXT, is basically what I'm trying to say. It's new. It seems new in NXT, and it seems different and exciting. And NXT is, again, a very exciting show. As I said, main event, 3.25 stars. The angles after the NXT tag title and the title match were both awesome. Not just because the guys involved, they were just perfectly well done. Like, the guys just came in and beat shit. So that's how you get guys over, and that's how you get title feuds over. So that was NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. My overall rating for the show, when I think about it, the angles were great. The opener was excellent. The tag match was 100 times better than it had any right to be, and it was really, really great. The black match in Itami was exactly what it should have been, just a strikers match. The women's match was awesome, and then the main event was good. Pretty good little main event. So, and you did have, every match was different. You had your fast-paced G1 CWC style match. You had the tag match, which was a little bit more about, obviously, heat. You then had the black match, which was just a stiff strikers match. You then had the working over a body part match, which, again, that's not going to get enough credit, that match. It was an awesome, breathtaking match. And I believe Moon hit the Eclipse with the bad arm, which was, again, good psychology. Because it protects the move a little bit. Like, and Asuka's kicked out of the Eclipse. Like, she did it with a bad arm. She couldn't have got the proper stunner. It's just a little thing that helps. And then, of course, you had the main event, which was a very typical WWE main event style. Still very good, as I said. 3.25 stars. In the end, this show, if match-to-match quality is always a thing, which I always think about when I think about his takeover shows, this was better than the first Brooklyn. I don't know if it was as good as last year's Brooklyn. No, it probably was. Yeah, I'd probably say this was the best Brooklyn match-to-match quality they've done. Wasn't the most exciting. It had debut of Adam Cole. It had 2 title changes. It had great wrestling. Overall, was this the best Brooklyn? Did it have the best match in Brooklyn history? No. Did it have the second? Probably not. Did it have the third? Probably in the women's title. So I'm going to give the show a 9 out of 10 and say it's probably the best Brooklyn they've ever done. I don't think the show was as good as Chicago. This show would have been amazing, though, if it had a UK title match. 9 out of 10. NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3 was a fantastic wrestling show. And SummerSlam tonight... I don't envy those guys, but I always say this, but they're screwed. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This has been Rob Russell. Like, comment, subscribe for more. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think to NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3? What do you think to Drew McIntyre, the new NXT champion? What do you think to Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly being this new faction? What do you think to Sanity winning tag titles in a shocker? And what do you think to Asuka retaining? Thanks, guys, for watching. This has been Revolver Russell.